Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the developer of PurRocket, an iOS space game with cats. And I listen to the One-Up Gaming Podcast. You can find a link to download my game at facebook.com/PurRocket.
Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One-Up Gaming Podcast.
Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One-Up Gaming Podcast.
Welcome to the next generation of gaming with the One-Up Gaming Crew. With news from the week in gaming and just some random chatter. Okay. With your hosts, David and Nathan, plus some special guests. It's time. For more info, please visit www.oneupgaming.co.uk. Xbox One challenge me. I'm king, you already know. Ruling games on PC, PSP, PlayStation 4. Play all genres, highest seeds. If there is a leaderboard, you can find a mod that would allow you all to see my scores. David and Nathan reviewing the games for me. That's why I'm so dangerous. See their tips so good you won't believe. Keep playing strong. One-Up Gaming coming on. It's the show you all have waited for. The wait's not very long. Go to One-Up Gaming, 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 go. Listen up, yo.
Legends speak of a team that forms only once every few generations. A team that will produce an epic display of incredible talent and charity. A team that is dedicated to the art of gaming and the community that goes along with it. A team that lives, breathes, eats, and somehow sleeps gaming. Don't ask me how that works because I do not know. This is not that team. But they're going to pretend that they are anyway. Presenting the One-Up Gaming Podcast team in an epic 60-hour world record-setting broadcast to benefit the UK-based video games charity Games Aid, while getting their names inscribed within the Guinness Book of World Records. Now, presenting your epically caffeinated heroes, David, Zach, Eddie, and Matt, we are the One-Up Gaming Podcast.
And we're back, still One-Up Gaming, it's episode 239 now. It's me, David, and it's still with Brian.
Yep, part 2, guys. And I forgot to mention, you guys, I also have a channel that I've been working to post these things up so that David can actually rip the podcast for us and get up on there, but I'm actually, right now it's currently called Brian Eccles, just Brian Eccles the channel, but we're coming up with a awesome name for it, and we're gonna continue to push for awesome games. But we got a great list for you guys. We just talked about this list, and quite frankly, this list will not be as long as the last podcast.
It might be because the top 10 one might take ages.
It could be. I mean, could. We don't know yet. So far, we've been on Q. It's been almost all Gears 5. Astral Chain, and yeah,
Control's been mentioned. If it was me myself, Metro Exodus would have won something, but it hasn't won anything yet.
Well, you never know. It might.
Anyway, best role-playing game. So the games I've got on my list Kingdom Hearts 3, The Outer Worlds, Disco Elysium, and Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Alright, my list is pretty much a list of one of the games I got for Christmas, which is the resurrected Dungeons & Dragons games that came back to Switch this year and PS4, which is the Icewind Dale / oh, crud, what's the other game? Icewind Dale and Torment. I think it was Torment, but I don't remember. Let me find out exactly so I can get you guys. And then the Baldur's Gate came out, which I thought was actually it's Planescape Torment. I love those games with a passion. They are hard. They are extremely hard because you have to know how to actually craft a party, but you can make your own party, your own characters, and it's basically like playing a version of Dungeons & Dragons come to life, because when I first encountered the Goblin Horde, oh my god, it reminded me of my first Dungeons & Dragons campaign ever as a DM, sitting there with my friends at the table, and we're all rolling the dice, and everybody just keeps missing the darn goblins. It was like that in my first run of that game. I got that on there for a reason, because I love the games. Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely on there because, hey, how long did it take us to get a Kingdom Hearts game? And they finally did it right.
Not long enough. They should have cancelled the series.
I think they finally did it right, at least, in my opinion. And now there's a rumor that they're... Oh, it's not actually a rumor anymore. It's confirmed. They're going to be making another Kingdom Hearts series. It's going to be Kingdom Hearts, but I guess Sora's going to move on to the next game, but it's not going to be the Xehanort. Is it Xehanort? Xehanort. It's not going to be the Xehanort saga anymore, because Xehanort's pretty much dead. Pokemon Sword and Shield, because, hey, Pokemon! I'm a Pokemon professor now in a Pokemon League, so I had to put that on the list, and I actually like the new camping feature where you can actually play with your Pokemon and get them to play. But I also am enjoying very much so the Dynamax feature. And the reason I like Pokemon, the reason you should pick up Pokemon, guys, is because the Wild Zone is amazing. It's like almost like you're walking in real life and you come across Pokemon and you can actually see them, but you can't catch, the only downfall is you can't catch certain Pokemon early in the game. You have to wait until you get badges in order to get them because they're too strong. So that's on the list. And the Outer Worlds. Because the Outer Worlds, it took me by storm. I was laughing at the game when it first got announced, saying, oh, this sounds like a hilarious game. I don't think I'm going to play that. Ended up playing on Xbox Game Pass for free, and I'm hooked. You can basically kill any quest giver in the game. It has consequences, of course, but at the beginning of the game, when I'm first starting, you get that first quest giver, and he's talking about the products of some company that he works for. I forget the name of the company. I decided to try it, and I pulled up my gun, shot him point blank in the head. He died, and I'm like, holy crap, you can kill the quest givers. Wow, this is awesome. So that's my list.
Yeah, looking at the games you've talked about and the games I've got on the list, I wasn't impressed with the Outer Worlds. I tried it, I played it for a couple of hours, then I just gave up. Kingdom Hearts, I'm not a big Disney fan, but I do like the games that have real-time combat. And then Pokemon Sword and Shield, I played the original Pokemon Blue, or Red, I don't know which one it was. I played that to death back in 98, was it?
Yeah, 98.
I played that to death, and then I haven't touched a Pokemon game all the way up until... Which one was it? The 3D one on the DS?
The first one? When it first came out?
I think it was Black and White.
No, Black and White was the last one. It was X and Y. That's what it was.
It was one of them games that Nintendo sent me a cartridge to review, and it made me miss my train stop, which I was annoyed with. And so for me, I know they do introduce new features and gameplay mechanics, but for me, the Pokemon series, if you were good at Pokemon Blue and Red all those years ago, you can basically pick up the new games and play them to a decent standard.
And as much as I love Pokemon, let's talk about the negatives for a minute since we're going there for the Pokemon game. The downfall for a lot of people, and it was caused a lot of controversy all over the internet, was, what was it, hashtag Dexgate or something like that, where they took out a lot of the Pokemon, and they did it for a reason, but people were upset so much with it that they just went in outrage for anybody who bought the game. They were attacking them. It caused a lot of bullying all over the internet, and it was a sad, sad thing. But when you talk about it, Pokemon has updated, and they do update, but it doesn't seem like it's still enough because they made the game easier now. So if you played Red, Blue, Yellow, like I did too, we both did, and I've played every game after that, it's become so much easier now because now the movesets are completely different. They make it easier for you to battle against other people and compete and become competitive. And like you said, as a Pokemon professor in a Pokemon League, running the trading card game and the video games, it was meant to encourage a little bit of more of the youngsters to come in and play. But for the older generations, 30s to 40s, even some 50-year-olds that I know that play it, it just wasn't enough. So it's still on the list as a nominee, but to me, if I had to pick one from my list, I would have to go with the D&D games for Switch because of how complex they are.
D&D games for Switch.
Yeah. They came out on PS4, and I think they came out on... I think it's available on Xbox One as well. Let me see. Planescape and Icewind Dale. Enhanced Edition. Amazon. Here we go. Let's check the Amazon to see.
So, Planescape, Torment, and Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition.
Yep, and it came out on all three platforms. It's been out on PC for years, but it just came out to main consoles finally after all these years. And they're supposed to be adding multiplayer content in soon, so you can actually multiplayer with people online so that they can add their party members to your party and you can actually adventure together.
I'm just trying to see when the actual release date was for.
November.
Has it just come out quite recently then?
Yeah, November. The original game came out in 2014, but the Switch version came out...
release date 15th of October 2019.
Yep.
Right. So, as that is the case, I am happy to add that onto the list and say that one has won the best role-playing game. So, Planescape, Torment and Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition. It's not just for Nintendo Switch. It's for, I think you said it's for all the consoles.
Yep, Xbox, PS4, and Switch. They also have the Baldur's Gate series available, which is a runner-up. And they also have they just came out with the Neverwinter Nights, which is an actual RPG that's like actual 3D graphics.
I mean, for me, you're probably going to hate me, but I really, 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 really dislike a lot of the top-down view sort of... I've completely blanked on the name of it, but you go...
Oh, the dungeon crawlers.
Yes.
Well, then in that case, Neverwinter Nights.
But it's not for me. It's like I say, I mean, I don't really play role-playing games. So I mean, if you think that's a good game, that came out this year, then I will go buy that.
No, what I'm saying is, for all the viewers out there, all the people who are actually listening, that are role-playing gamers, when it comes to dungeon crawlers, as David mentioned, the Icewind Dale, Baldur's Gate 2 Dual Pack, and the Icewind Dale Planescape Torment, those are the dungeon crawler top-down view. But they just came out with Neverwinter Nights, so if you still want to stick with the D&D category, guys, Neverwinter Nights Enhanced Edition is, I believe it's third person, where you actually over the shoulder and you see the character hacking and slashing, but I think you can switch to first person as well, but that's not top down, that's actually straightforward. Like, kind of like Skyrim on Switch, when Skyrim came out.
What's the game that was like the third game for years, and now they've just announced the fourth game, top-down role-playing game, like hack and slash, collect loot. Diablo. I hate that game with a passion.
I never played the originals, I only played 3.
Yeah, well, it's just 3 that I've played, I haven't played the others. But yeah, the third game I hated so much. I got sent the game to review. I hated it that much. I gave the game to someone else to review just because I was going to give it such a bad score. And they loved it and gave it like 5 stars. It's like, oh, alright. Anyway, moving on. Slowly but surely. Best racing game. Now, I believe you said earlier on that you didn't really have any racing games on your list.
Nope, the only one I had was Need for Speed Heat.
Right. I've got that one too. I've also got Dirt Rally 2.0, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, F1 2019, Wreckfest, and Grid, that just came out a few weeks ago. Well, a couple of months ago, maybe. And for me, I would say out of those games, I think Grid, just because it's similar to the Forza sort of games, where it's got all the different cars. So it's got like the rally cars, the stock cars, and you sort of go through careers. I think it's even got like Formula 1 cars in it. So you go through sort of careers, and you get faster and faster cars and upgrades and things, and it is really good. So for me, I would say out of that list, if you're interested in like a really hard game, but one that's fun as hell, I would recommend Wreckfest. And it's been made by the devs that was at Bugbear. And I think Wreckfest was the first next-gen game announced like 6, 7, 8 years ago, whenever it was. And it's just taken this amount of time before they've actually finished the game. Because it was originally called like Next Car Game or something.
I just saw the review come in for somebody from Polygon, and they said Wreckfest was a beautiful disaster. It was the most fun I had all year for any kind of racing game. And it was made by THQ Nordic, not to be confused with THQ guys. I haven't played it, but now looking at this, I just looked it up as we're on this podcast, and it's got me interested because I like games where you can actually just cause mayhem and destruction, especially when you have those days where you're really angry from work and you just want to take it out on something, and you want to take it out in a video game. Hey, Wreckfest, perfect opportunity to just go ahead and drive your cars.
Can you remember the games on the original Xbox and maybe Xbox 360 called Flat Out?
Yes, I do remember those.
This is their brand new game, Wreckfest. So Bugbear was the one who made Flat Out, and then they've changed company to publish it, and then they've actually released this game. So yeah, Wreckfest is really fun. Formula 1 2019 is, if you like racing games, like really competitive racing games, it is really good. Dirt Rally, I didn't like. You just didn't seem to have the control of the car, so I just didn't like that. Crash Team Racing is just Crash Team Racing, but just so nice jazzy graphics. So I don't know if you're okay with it, but I want to put Grid as the racing game of the year.
Huh. I'm tossed up between Grid and Wreckfest. After looking up a Wreckfest, I'm kind of thinking Wreckfest.
I mean, Wreckfest is practically just like the flat out sort of games. So it's got like the main racing bits, and it's also got like the little challenges, so you can like go down ramps and shoot yourself out at targets and stuff.
But Grid was made by our friends at Codemasters, and Codemasters, they've been off and on game development. They've been off and on disappearing and then reappearing, and so, yeah, let's give them a chance. I haven't played it myself. I think it's on Xbox Game Pass. If it is, I'll download it and I'll try it and give my own personal review. But let's just go with that one, because Codemasters needs some love.
It's funny because on this list, Dirt Rally 2.0 is Codemasters, F1 2019 is Codemasters, and Grid is Codemasters.
So they went to racing games only exclusively then, huh?
Practically, yeah.
I remember back in the day, I think it was them that made that game that I really loved for PlayStation 3 called Clive Barker's Jericho, which was a weird convulsion of a horror
Yeah, it was like a horror
movie.
first person. Wasn't that THQ?
Nope. It was just Codemasters. I'm still stuck on that campaign. Years later, I'm still stuck.
I really enjoyed that game.
I did too. I mean, it was fun. People said they hated it, but, you know, this is why we do what we do. This is why you and I are here doing these reviews ourselves, because a lot of the professional reviewers, as you know, when it comes to IGN and GameSpot and GameStop's thing, you know, Game Informer, they don't give games enough logical. They actually don't give their games enough reviews. Like, they take the games that pay them the most money and give them better reviews than the ones that are made by like the small indie developers, and they've been doing that for years, controversy-wise. So when it comes to that kind of game, back in the day, it got a horrible review, but I'm still playing it because I'm still enjoying it. So, yeah, okay, we'll go with that.
So what are we deciding now?
I would say
Wreckfest or Grid?
let's go with Grid.
Right, so Grid wins
podcast.
the best racing game. Yeah, we'll do best sports game. So, I mean, on my list, I've got FIFA 20, eFootball PES 2020, MLB The Show 19, NBA 2K20, Football Manager 2020, and F1 2019.
My only one on my list is MLB The Show 19. And I'm also happy to announce, for people that do not know, MLB 20 next year will be cross-platform Xbox, PS4, and I believe they're bringing it to Switch, and they're trying to bring it to PC, so yay, this is going to be fun next year.
I think MLB The Show 20 will be PS only, and it's the game that's coming out in 2021, so that'll be like MLB The Show 21. So I think it's in a couple of years.
No, it's going to be the 20. I just looked it. They said MLB The Show 20 will be cross-platform. They said that Sony decided they want to try to partner with Xbox and Switch.
Do you actually believe that? Because I don't.
It's covered by ESPN, The Sporting News, Forbes magazine.
No. I mean, like, do you believe it's Sony's idea? Because I don't.
I don't know, because the company that makes the game is a Sony studio, I believe.
I know. But what I think's happened is the MLB the contract was due for renewal. And I think the MLB has basically said that we want it to go to all the platforms, or you're not getting the license. That's what I believe.
That is true. If that's the case, then hello, WWE, you need to pay attention. Find a new developer for your games.
Yeah. So, best sports game.
For me?
It's not a good list.
It's not, because I already have one. I have MLB The Show 19 because I was disappointed in Madden. I was disappointed in FIFA. The only thing that they updated with FIFA was the Champions League, which I love the Champions League. I'm a passionate footballer. I love English football. I love American football. But the game it didn't really have that much improvements. We already talked about it in the last episode with the disappointment that was FIFA 20 on Switch. And I have to go there and say that it was also disappointing on Xbox because it's just they need to do more. Like they need the story mode that they did the last couple of years. The Journey, that was great.
Yeah, that was quite fun.
But then they just stopped it. It's like, okay, we're not doing that anymore. It's like I don't like that. They need to come up with new ideas or stop making sports games every year.
But I think they all knew that the new Xbox and the new PlayStation were coming out next year, so they've probably put all the efforts into the new engine for next year. And this year's game for the PS4 and next year's game for the PS4 will just be slight tweaks.
That's the Butterborn.
That could be true.
You know, so
I saw the announcement for the new Xbox and what it looks like, and I'm not impressed because I don't see how they're going to do special editions of that new Xbox. But at the same time, it's going to be cheaper than the PlayStation. I just know it. It's going to be cheaper. It has to be.
But it's like, I don't know why, but I saw the new Xbox and it looked, for me, because it was very minimal and very sleek, I thought it looked really good.
So if that's the final version of what the console looks like, what would you think?
I like it. I think it looks really nice.
I will give it that it is more compact too, because you can actually stand it straight up now rather than sitting it straight down. That's like traditional, what people dream of doing. But the greatest thing that I love about this new Xbox is they basically said it. They announced it recently. It's going to be a PC in a console. It's basically a miniature PC in a console.
Well, that's what the Xbox One and the PS4 are.
Yeah, but it's a more compact version of a console, of a PC console now, rather than all the long, big boxes and cords everywhere.
But I don't know. It's something different. But the controller looks nice because I liked the Xbox controller. And they've just done a slight tweak on it.
Well, does MLB The Show 19 win Best Sports Game?
I don't know, because which was the one that was released on the Sony free game sort of thing? Was it 18?
Yeah, I think.
And I didn't really like it. I'm English. I don't get baseball. It's just an expensive version of Rounders.
You see, my girlfriend went and seen a rugby match recently, and she said to me that rugby kind of reminded her of a better version of baseball because it was actually more entertaining to watch rugby than it was to watch baseball. And I said to her, really? And she's like, yeah. She's like, it was more entertaining to watch that than it was to sit through 9 innings of, did they score yet? Did they score yet? Did they score yet? Did they score yet? Oh, they scored. Cool. Oh, look, another run. So I guess it depends on culture, too.
Yeah. I mean, like,
so then,
I will say, technically speaking, just on a technical level, I do think MLB The Show's the best sort of, like, baseball game there's ever been.
The only gripe that I had with it is that the legends, they put the most baseball legends in the game, period. But they stick it in Diamond Dynasty, which is basically their version of EA's version of Ultimate Teams. And I hate Ultimate Teams with a passion because it's a paywall of having to pay to get cards to play to make your characters and your teams the best out there. So having those legends to unlock without having to buy packs to get them is great. But then having to buy other cards and other players to create the team to put the legends on in the first place is outrageous in my opinion.
So, and I mean, I think the NBA 2K sort of games, I think they've gone downhill from what they were a few years ago.
I agree with that. We said it in the last podcast with WWE 2K. 2K as a studio has gone downhill because they've really, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They got the money from the licenses. They've claimed that they're trying their best, but if I was in charge of the studio, I'd make sure they tried better because I get there's only so much you can do with a sports game. I get that. Story mode for WWE 2K this year was a little bit better than last year's. Last year's was better than the year before.
Don't touch anything.
But when it comes to the basketball story mode, it's always pretty much NBA's pretty much the same. Like the first half of the story, like the first 2 hours or 3 hours is different. Then it goes to the same old crap that is the year before. And it's the same gameplay, same tweaks, new jerseys, new players, updated roster, but they don't really add much. And when 2K20, NBA 2K20, for those that got confused there for a second, when it came out on the market, it also was a broken game that needed patched this year.
Yeah, there's a lot of them this year, isn't there?
Yeah.
Right, so just because of the technical level of the game, I'm willing to put MLB The Show as the best sports game.
Alright, we'll stick with it.
So, next up, best strategy game. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 5, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I've got Anno 1800, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Total War 3 Kingdoms, Tropico 6, and SteamWorld Quest.
Well, I have all three of those games that you mentioned. That's my only list is 3. I have Tropico 6, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and Total War 3 Kingdoms.
I mean, I will just put this out there. SteamWorld Quest, in my opinion, is probably the worst SteamWorld game that they've released. But I am quite friendly with the lead of the studio owner person, so I had to put the game on the list. So I think it's either the Fire Emblem or the Total War.
I think you know what my answer is going to be.
Let's go
Again,
to Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem's going to win because of the campaign length and the graphics and all that. So, Fire Emblem. Yeah, but while we're here talking about it, I will have to say to our friends at the studio who made Tropico, Tropico 6 was great. I loved it. I'm still playing it. It's just, to me, it needed more of a more in-depth campaign mode.
Yeah.
Which Tropico 7 next year, hopefully, we'll have that.
Yeah, hopefully. So, the next... Well, we were going to do, all the Nintendo, Microsoft, Xbox, PC, PlayStation. We've already done the Nintendo one, which was... The winner was Fire Emblem 3 Houses. And I don't think it was just me, Brian, but I think we both struggled to find really good, amazing games that was in the actual Game of the Year category list, just exclusive for these sort of platforms.
What I did is I just went ahead and crossed everything as we was doing the last podcast. I crossed everything off my list and just said for Microsoft, Gears 5, and Sony, Death Stranding. Because there wasn't enough exclusives this year.
Yeah, and I think for the PC it was Disco Elysium.
Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I'm trying to get a hold of a copy of it because I want. After I heard it win so many awards at the VGAs 2019, I just wanted to play it. And there's a Steam sale today, so hopefully it's on sale.
Can't beat a Steam sale. Right then, I think we're at the start of the bit where we have to do the overall top 10 list. So I will make space on this one here. So I will name the games I've got on my list, and then anything else you think needs to be added to the list, I will add it to the list. And then we will go in order and delete games until we get to 10 games, and then we'll try and put that 10 games in an order.
Okay. Yeah, I try to do it myself. But before we touch on the top 10,
Yep.
one thing I wanted to throw out there, my own category that I put out there. Best game system released this year that was not a game system. We had the Sega Genesis Mini come out this year, and we had another similar system come out, and I personally picked the Super Retrocade. I think it came out this year because you can play arcade games on a little portable system, and it's a system that was not supposed to happen. So I just wanted to throw that out there. That's a good pick if you guys are looking for a way to play mods and ROMs, because the company basically took a lot of ROMs and mods and threw them together onto a little console, and it's got 90-some games on there. So, yeah. But, yeah, I try to put my top 10 into a list in a logical order, but it's all over the place. So...
Right then, so I will just read off the games that I've got. So I've got, in no order, I've got Death Stranding, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Gears 5, Football Manager 2020, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3, eFootball PES 2020, FIFA 20, Grid, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, The Outer Worlds, Sekiro, Metro Exodus, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and Control. So I've got 15 games on that list.
Okay. Well, I say if we're going to narrow that list down, we can take Football Manager off there, PES Soccer, FIFA, Grid, and Crash off of there, and I think that narrows it down to 10.
Right, so...
And we have some similars. We have some similars in ours, too. So let's go with mine that are similar to yours, the same ones.
Right.
Pokemon Sword and Shield's on my list as well.
Yep.
Gears 5's on there.
Yep.
Control's on there.
Yep.
Star Wars Jedi's on there.
Yep.
Outer Worlds is on there.
Yep.
Luigi's Mansion 3's on there.
Yep.
Now here's what I added to my list.
Yep.
And I have 2 games on there twice. I had... Oh, actually, Death Stranding's on there, too. So those are on the top 10.
Yep.
And then I have Jump Force on there.
Yep.
I have Devil May Cry 5 on there.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
And Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
I wasn't a big fan of that new one.
I just put it on there because it's one of my top 10 fun games to play, where I don't get frustrated and want to throw the controller.
Right,
if I had to put it in the top 10, I'd put it at the very bottom of the top 10.
So have you got the 13 games that are on our combined list now?
I think so. Let me see. What do you have that I don't have?
Right, so I've got Death Stranding, Star Wars Jedi, Gears 5, Pokemon, Luigi's Mansion, The Outer Worlds, Sekiro, Metro Exodus, Resident Evil 2, Control, then we've got Jump Force, Devil May Cry, and Marvel Alliance.
Okay, so it has to go on the list because even though I haven't played it, let's keep Metro Exodus on that list.
Yep.
Just because it hasn't gotten anything yet, and I feel kind of bad because that game actually, I was looking it up earlier, and it looks badass. And now that I know that I can skip the other 2 games, I might just skip straight to that. Now comes the hard part. Taking the list in a logical order.
I mean, for me, I think Jump Force can be taken off the list.
Okay. In that case, let's take Sekiro off the list too.
Right? That's absolutely fine. Right, so there is one more to come off.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 10 total. I don't know if I'm missing anything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have Pokemon, Gears 5, Control, Star Wars Jedi, Outer Worlds, Devil May Cry, Luigi's Mansion, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Death Stranding, and Metro. Comes to 10.
Do you have Resident Evil 2 Remake?
Oh, I didn't put that. I forgot. I deleted that accidentally. Okay. Evil 2. Okay. In that case, then Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 can go off the list.
Yeah, I was thinking that was the only one that I was like a bit worried over that. Right. So, for me, I think it's easy to say Star Wars can be at the bottom of the list.
Yes,
So
I agree with that.
That can be the 10th game.
I'm going to say something that I think should be at the top of the list. We need to put Death Stranding towards the top and Resident Evil 2 towards the top, I think. Or Resident Evil 2 could be towards the middle. It's going to be a sure hit because we get Gears 5 and Control that need to go toward the top of the list.
Right, just... Right, so Gears... Oh, wrong one. Right, so... So I think the Outer Worlds, I think that
Bottom.
needs to be towards the bottom, yes.
I put it. Let's put that right above Star Wars.
Yep. Devil May Cry, that's middle-ish.
Yeah, Resident Evil 2 should go above that.
Yeah.
And then put Metro Exodus above Resident Evil 2 or below Resident Evil 2?
Oh, wrong button. Metro Exodus. There. Right, so. Delete that.
Luigi's Mansion 3 above Pokemon Sword and Shield. But Sword and Shield should be middle bottomish, like top of the bottomish letter. So if we had to divide it into threes, it would be 3 games at the top, 3 in the middle, and then 4 at the bottom, and Pokemon should be at the top of that 4 at the bottom.
What have I missed? Is it Pokemon, right? Yeah, Pokemon.
Now the hard part's going to be, is it going to be Death Stranding, Gears 5, Control, or Resident Evil 2, or Metro Exodus? Which one of those is going to be at the top of that top 5?
For me, I think, for now, we'll put Gears 5 at the top, just because it won a lot of the Game of the loads of other awards.
Okay.
And then... Right. So I will read this out to see how you think this sounds. Gears 5, Death Stranding, Control, Metro Exodus, Luigi's Mansion 3, Resident Evil 2, Devil May Cry 5, Pokemon, The Outer Worlds, and Star Wars.
I could say I agree with that. The way I had it put, but I actually like the way you did it. I had Gears 5 as number 1.
Yep.
Death Stranding number 2, Control number 3, Metro Exodus number 4, Resident Evil 2 as number 5, Devil May Cry 5 as number 6, Luigi's Mansion 3, then Pokemon Sword and Shield, Outer Worlds, and Star Wars.
Right. I mean, I'm happier with that because although Luigi's Mansion's good, I think Devil May Cry and Resident Evil are a better game.
Yeah. Especially if you're thinking horror-wise, because Luigi's Mansion's more of an adventure, fun, spooky horror, whereas Resident Evil 2, they completely redid. They kept the same story as Resident Evil 2 was, but graphics-wise was awesome, music-wise was often awesome, and I still want to play it. And Resident Evil 3 was just announced. They're remaking 3, which...
Yeah. And they're adding that the Resident Evil, the online shooter bit, as the added extra into the game.
As long as it's better than Resident Evil Umbrella Corps and Resident Evil, whatever that game was that just came out last year that was horrible. That didn't have a campaign mode.
But it's not too bad because it's like added free to the game itself, so at least it might do better because it's not the sole focus of the game, it's actually a little added extra.
And they added more to the story too, which makes it more interesting because I saw the trailer and I'm like, hey, this is going to be interesting.
Right, so that is the One Up Gaming Game of the Year 2019 Top 10. So from 10 to 1, it was Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, The Outer Worlds, Pokemon Sword and Shield, Luigi's Mansion 3, Devil May Cry 5, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Metro Exodus, Control, Death Stranding, and the number one is Gears 5.
Gears 5 wins Game of the Year.
Yep. So, with all that, I will say thank you all for listening. I will go through some of our little bits and bobs. So, you're listening to the One Up Gaming Podcast, episode 239. Please have a look at our Patreon site, which is patreon.com/OUG. If you want to buy any t-shirts or mugs with our stupid logo on, it's at bluecyborg.com. Just search One Up Gaming. We have an album available to buy or stream called Games Inspired Music. 20% of each sale will go to the Child's Play charity. We have our first 100 podcasts, plus an exclusive Sans Pants Radio interview. It's at audiobooksontape.com. So basically, you get sent, it looks like an audio cassette tape, but it's like a USB stick that flicks out of the side. And it's got like little artwork on and little pictures and stuff, and it looks quite cool. And it's £9, and £1 goes to Diabetes UK. Go to our Facebook page, just search One Up Gaming. Go to our YouTube page, just go to One Up Gaming. We have a Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/OUG official. And if you want to tweet us, it's at OUG official. Please subscribe and give us 5 stars and positive feedback on the podcasts. And it's been me, David, and Brian with the Game of the Year edition of the One Up Gaming Podcast.
Looking forward to more, guys, and don't forget to check out the channel. I am going on oneupgaming.com Facebook right now to post in there to say hi to everybody. So looking forward to hearing your comments and seeing what you think what you think the Game of the Year could have been and what you're looking forward to in 2020.
So thank you all, and we'll see you soon. Goodbye.
Do you have trouble sleeping? Tossing and turning all night? Nothing you do seems to help. You're not getting your recommended 6 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Well, now there's a solution. Now there's Fat Cat Fly. With Fat Cat Fly, you'll easily get the sleep that you deserve. Download for free on the iOS App Store, and you're guaranteed to get a good night's sleep with very few side effects, as you help a fluffy kitty eat all the junk food that he wants. Side effects may include sleeplessness and desire for cheeseburgers if erection lasts more than 5 hours. See a physician. Try Fat Cat Fly today. Visit facebook.com/fatcatfly because you deserve a better life.
Hey guys, Justin here. I just wanted to say that I've been thinking about you. I've been thinking about you a lot. Yes, you in particular, in that way. And I wanted to say, I think you're great. I've always said that about you. And I was wondering, if you think we're great, if you could give us a quick rating on iTunes, we'd really appreciate it. It would really, really help us out in that, podcasty sort of way. And if you're feeling particularly festive, perhaps even a little saucy, maybe stop by our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG and see if you can't slip a few bucks our way. After all, every little penny or whatever space money they use in Europe helps out the show. Thanks for listening. OUG Gaming will always be free, but with your support, we can always move forward and always be better.
Go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby. I love you, said I love you. Never put nothing above you. Won't let go once I can hug you on the floor. They hate because you let them know that you the ish. Now they hating not because you at the club and proving it. And so they choosing it too late cause now they using it. Can't wait from how you doing it. I know that they pursuing it. You will kindly tell them now my baby's here to watch me go. And for him I put on a show. You just blessed to be here so. My baby goes on. Her body rolls on. I tell her hold on. Making love with clothes on. Been on it so long. I think we gotta go. Hit my grown man. You know that I love you so. Go baby go now. Baby go now. Baby go now. Go now. Baby go now. Baby go now. Just go baby go now. Go now. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me.
go for me. I tell my baby go, but she's not even going though. It's the trust I have in her. Careless what do say to her. Yeah, I'm feeling kinda slick. I'm loving how I swim in it. No, I'm not taming her. The only one's engraving it. Sign it, still right from her lips. You need to know that she's my miss. Treat her like a treasure though. I never wanna let her go. I keep her right in front of me. My heart she will forever be. I do this so she'll never see. Life with me, no misery. You deserve the world, my queen. Yeah, I'm back down on one knee. A boy to a man that you have seen. No matter who's wrong, it's you and me. I'm coming for you, baby, so we can stay happy. I'm trying to work so hard for you and me. Go, baby, go now.
Go, baby, go.
Baby, go.
Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go.
Baby, go.
Ha.
Go, baby, go.
Go, baby, go.
Baby, go now.
Just go, baby, go now.
I love when you go for me.
Go for me.
I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me. 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 Say I love when you go for me.
Say my baby's so bad, she can get it so glad that she loves me, know that I'm a hubby so sad. Say you looking so mad, oh you didn't know that. Next time you should check the ring, I know that one's a throwback. I know you see her flashing it, especially when she gets it low. I'm rubbing on and grabbing it, I tell my girl go ahead and go.
Baby, go now. Baby, go now. Go, baby, go now. Baby, go now. Go, baby, go now. Baby, go now. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me. 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 Say I love when you go for me.
Yo, go baby, go. Just go, baby, go now. Yeah, LGE, Saint and Contact, get it. Ha.
We got it.
Go, baby, go.
We got it.
Go, baby, go
We
now.
got it.